What's going on, Babylonians? It's me, Songs of Raids, and I don't know about you, but I've been having a bit of a blast with the solo mode of crime boss Rockay City recently. I'm currently 10 hours in and think maybe running a crime syndicate may be my calling. But in all seriousness though, I've been having fun with this mode as the roguelike nature of it offers you replayability and a reason to keep coming back for more. In this video we'll discuss a few things I've picked up along the way with my playtime, helping you make better decisions when you boot into it for the first time, and each session after that when you almost inevitably die. If you found any of this helpful and want to see more from us at Babylon, consider subscribing and hitting that like button. But now that's all out the way, what are we waiting for? Let's get the video started. Establishing any sort of hold over Rockay City is going to need three main things: guns, people, and money. Fortunately, money buys the other two things, and this is where managing your finances comes in. To do anything in Rockay City, you're going to need some cash. Want an army of soldiers to take over and defend districts? You'll need cash. Want to plan out a mission and take some backup? You're going to need cash for that too. And want to make your next large heist easier with things like ziplines and intel? You guessed it, cash is king. Now fortunately there are some ways to obtain the cash you need to maintain your hold. Events like robbing a strip mall or warehouses are quick and easy missions offering lump sums and valuables to sell at a future date, and can even be done in stealth requiring no combat or risk of losing your people. Depending on the amount of bags loaded into your van, these can range anywhere between 20 to 50,000 into your piggy bank, allowing more recruits or more actions to be able to take place. You also gain funds each day based on the locations you own, encouraging you to go out and take the land when you can. There are also some harder jobs on offer every now and then, and with places like jewelry stores and armoured vehicles to loot offering larger payouts, but tend to get loud real quick, resulting in a larger response force to descend on you if you fail at stealth. Lastly, you have your main contract jobs offering huge payouts into the 7-digit figures, but tend to spell death for your team should you get rumbled. Other options for getting hold of that much needed cash are going to be asking for a loan from sharks, which are a great injection, but you'll pay more back over 7 days depending on the value that you take, and unless it's a last resort, I'd probably steer clear of these if you can. Alternatively, you can sell things like items from your stash to be able to make more cash, and these are in the forms of drugs, luxuries, gems, electronics, and precious metals, all of which you can loot from regular jobs and hold in your stash. It's worthwhile popping back into this tab to be able to check on current trends for these goods, as these fluctuate in price you can sell for, with some days being negative values and others being as high as 40% more than their standing. But however you receive these funds is down to you, so let's have a look at what you'll need to shell out for to be that new king of Rockay City. As mentioned, jobs take planning, and planning takes money. At the start of each run, you'll be paying out for planning costs, so whether you come back with the wealth or you come back empty-handed, you're still going to have to pay out for that cost. Fortunately, the game does a great job of advising when you have enough to be able to cover your costs and still turn a profit, recommending you to be able to go back for more should you only come back with a couple hundreds in your hands. Any henchmen you plan on recruiting require cash, which then varies dependent on their rank and perks, with some increasing their value and others decreasing them to be more affordable. But it doesn't stop there though, as you want to upgrade the current arsenal you'll need to purchase some gear, and if you gain enough experience you wish to be able to get them more perks, then this will cost you on top of all of this. If you're looking to gain control of some territory, you'll need to pay for the work your soldiers are up for in the attack, along with topping up your numbers from the pirates should you be a little short. While you do also need to be able to pay to defend territory, it's substantially lower compared to attacking, so always keep your funds for defense should you need to be able to make the choice between attack or defense. Whatever you choose to do with your finances, it's always a good idea to go in with a plan rather than just throwing cash around that you may need down the line. Personally, I prefer to hold off buying new weapons, as capturing territory can give you gear to be able to share around for free, and I also tend to only hire the cheap bodies unless I'm looking for a new captain to lead missions, in which case I'll save for one that's in the 6-figure range due to their gears and perk selections being tasty for a player character. The first time I had a random event pop up on my screen, I had feelings of both interest and annoyance as a rival gang turned up to ruin my stealth run of clearing out a warehouse, alerting the guards and the police to the incident, and putting my ass on a timer to get out with the goods. Not only did we have to fight through security, we now also have a wave of gang members to push back alongside that, and then also gathering and running away with our bags of precious materials. Yes, random events can really mess up a run, especially one that requires a level of stealth, but this adds another modifier into the mix and weirdly kind of makes sense that a rival gang might try to do the same job as us and turn up to be able to take for themselves. Fortunately, we did make it out with the loot just fine, but the random events do a great job at being able to keep you on your toes. These don't just happen in regular jobs though, as I've had the same modifier happen in a territory attack too, resulting in more goons to now mow through to be able to take the area. I've also had a nasty one happen on a job that wasn't quite advertised as a random event in game, but changed it from a normal armoured van grab where I'm able to steal some resources and be able to grab some money, into a police sting operation as a heavily armoured LMG toting enforcer came out of the vehicle and our escape ride had blown up, resulting in us to be able to survive and escape via another method. It was a highly enjoyable mission, but a huge surprise in the moment to have no loot and almost not make it out alive. Make sure to always be on your toes, as Rockay City will find a way to still catch you off guard when you least expect it. Each mission in the campaign, apart from specific missions for select characters, allow you to be able to choose who to take in and who is to gain experience towards leveling. For most cases, the only risk you'll face for taking a character in will be them dying and no longer selectable for future missions. Alternatively, you can choose to take in Baker, carrying some great perks and a strong revolver secondary. He's always a great option for missions to play as, but you do run the risk of dying, meaning that game over for the current run. This is important, as not only are you getting experience for Baker on each successful mission, but should you fail, you'll also earn experience, leading to more upgrades ready for your next run. With 22 total perks to be able to choose from, each with extra levels for increased benefit, it'll be worth grabbing the ones that make the difference to your playthrough the most. Improving Baker is always a great place to start, but will mostly just affect any missions you take him on and with you playing as him, whereas other Entourage member upgrades can help you get off to a strong start, faster level progression and even more cheaper activities every day. Personally, I like to grab a mix of Baker and Entourage perks, allowing me to beef up the main character you'll use, but also help with takeovers. Extra Gravy offer Baker new perks with every upgrade. Ace in the Hold offers strong equipment for free for your character, making early missions a doddle when it comes to shooting. Penny Pinch is essential for financial management and taking over districts with its cost reduction for turf war, and Rocket in Your Pocket gives you a 10% experience boost for leveling Baker on every single level, allowing faster gains at more upgrades. Whichever you pick, upgrades are key to getting in a good campaign, so make sure you choose wisely. Just like the Avengers, it's time to assemble, and no more true is this than the team section showcasing members for hire and upgrading. In here you'll have access to recruit new members, all sporting their own loadouts and perk sets, with the higher geared members with more perks being much more costly to afford. Normal members can be obtained for usually less than 20 to 30k, but come with standard gear of usually a pistol and a bat, while the more rarer members come in fully geared up and with a whole host of strong perks for combat, stealth or team support. Take Tuna for example. This guy costs a whopping 129,000 to recruit, and while that is a huge amount to factor in, he does more than make up for it with his arsenal and his survivability. Sporting Stout and Valiant, Tuna comes in with increased health, allowing him to stay in the fight for much longer and hold off the police longer than other members can, while Valiant gives him 2 extra revives before permanent death, meaning it'll be hard to keep this guy down and out. If we look at his arsenal, we can see that where the savings come into play, sporting a legendary semi-auto shotgun and a legendary Desert Eagle pistol, meaning no matter what he has equipped, you'll be dishing out some serious damage. What's even crazier is that Tuna can still be upgraded from this rank, offering the potential for even more strong perks after taking out in a few missions to gain experience. If we quickly look at Lecter, another strong member of my gang, sporting a whopping 6 perks alongside his legendary gear, we can see what members turn into when upgraded. Decreased weapon sway, improved defense against bullets, and extra equipment charges are just some of the better perks on offer, and work wonders when all combined together, giving great offense alongside some solid defense. It's worth mentioning that while most perks are good for your character, you'll need to be on the lookout for red text, which refers to bad perks, hindering some characters. Things like Softy reducing your damage potential and Smoke causing a new recruit to cost more to sign can make or break on recruitment. While most negatives aren't bad when you look at them alone, finding characters with more than one soon start to stack up and could spell disaster on missions. Territory is the name of the game in Crime Boss, as you'll need all locations under your control for you to see that elusive winning screen. To obtain all this, you'll need to work your way through managing your offense and defense when it comes to locations. For both though, you'll need 2 things, money and soldiers. Money we've already discussed, but what we haven't talked about specific to territories is that the more soldiers you plan to take in, the easier the mission, but the more expensive it'll be to run. Finding that balance between difficulty, cost, and saving some soldiers back for defending territory is a fine line to walk, so I recommend not attacking more than one faction at a time, as the more you piss off certain leaders, the more frequent you'll be on the back foot defending rather than attacking. Regardless, for either action you'll need an army to support you in these operations, soldiers willing to lay their lives down for you to become the king you plan to be. These can be obtained through Baker upgrades, attacking locations that offer rewards of soldiers, or as a last resort purchased from the pirates for a fee. Taking territory is an expensive game to run, but fortunately the game does give you recompense for every district you hold at the start of each day, with places offering between 3,000 to 7,000 per day that you hold them, helping you to be able to fund the rest of your activities. The more you own, the better your income, so take as much as you can when you can, especially if free locations are up for grabs. Now, both activities for attack and defend will require you to take part in some form of activity, where you push the attack or hold off for the defense. In the attack, you'll be playing as a member of the army, equipped with a random piece of gear based on your current army upgrade level. Level 1 sports commons like pistols and melee weapons, with Gear 2 offering rifles, SMGs and shotguns to make you that much more lethal. There is a chance to go for level 3 if you're willing to pay, once again upping the effectiveness of your weapons. If you die in an attack, you'll swap to another member of the team, still pushing until all your numbers are done at the top of your screen. If you manage to dwindle their numbers before your own and take out their leader should one be present, then you'll now own that territory, granting you all the benefits that were on offer. On defense though, you now assume the role of Touchdown, a force to be reckoned with, sporting an LMG with 150 rounds per reload and a flashbang, allowing you to be able to make mincemeat of all that come down the street. Once again, you are tasked with eliminating their numbers before your own, but assuming the role of Touchdown with his gear makes this fairly easy to complete, as enemies group up, leading to it to be a massacre on their part. While it is recommended to still take in soldiers with you, defenses are much easier to be able to pull off, so you can hold off from sending in the whole cavalry to protect what's rightfully yours. One neat trick that the game doesn't make too clear though is how capturing territory can be used to save on costs on soldiers. A great strategy to pull off would be to find ways to cut off connections to other parts owned by the same colour. How this works is all locations are linked by lines advising what places can be attacked from, like Liberty Bay can only be attacked if you own either Swamp Road or Antigua. If this was to be cut off by its connections, this will automatically mean that Liberty Bay swaps hands to the colour that now has the connections, so in layman's terms, if I owned Liberty Bay but purple comes in to take Swamp Road and Antigua, I instantly lose Liberty Bay to purple, saving them one attack or me one defense. Tactics like this can save you a lot of money and army figures, so always be on the lookout for ways to cut the competition off. And with that, it pretty much wraps it up for the 5 tips or things I wish I knew before playing Crime Boss Rockay City. So we want to hear from you. How are you finding the game? Are you as addicted to the game as I am? How far did you get in your first playthrough? And is there anything you wish was added to this list to be able to help newer players? Let us know all of this and more in the comment section down below. Massive thank you for making your way to the end of the video. If you want to see more from us at Babylon, then make sure to click that subscribe button so you never miss out on a future video. Massive thank you to the Babylonian family as always for their continued support. But with all that said and done, it just leaves me to say keep yourself safe, keep yourselves well, and we'll see you all on the next video.